So I just want to echo Jim's comments about how important events like this are and how they make a real difference in what we do every day. Both of us are very fortunate to meet people like Greg and patients, and we're humbled every day by the courage they show. And that's why we wake up every day and go to work renewed with energy and a lot of enthusiasm to try to come up with something better here. We have a very nice center at the University of Pittsburgh where we really are able to take care of patients with all levels of this, all stages of this disease. And we really are trying to focus on developing new treatments. And my laboratory is one that is focusing in on trying to figure out why it is that pancreatic cancer doesn't respond to chemotherapy very well. Why is it that the current chemotherapies aren't working? And a few years ago, we came up with the idea that perhaps it was because we were focusing on the wrong thing, not trying to kill tumor cells, which everybody seems to think was the right thing to do, but perhaps we were killing them the wrong way. And that launched a series of studies over the last 3 years, which have identified the way that tumor cells die is really important, and that just killing them is not necessarily the goal. It is obviously the goal, but that how they die is really important. And so what we were able to do with Jim's work on the predictive modeling is identify a certain number of patients who are eligible to have their cancers removed. And we have a drug that targets cancer cells the way they die, changes the way they die to a more effective form of cell death. And we're able to apply that to those patients and then go ahead and take the tumors out and see if what we're doing is making a difference. And I guess the thing that I'm most satisfied and proud of is that we were able to turn these ideas around very quickly. Within a period of about 2 years, we went from an idea in the laboratory to testing it in patients, and that's what this kind of fundraising can do for us. Much of the groundwork in the laboratory, some of it came from NIH funding, but a good amount of it came from philanthropic donations, and we're able to use that money to directly translate into new treatments. And so we really appreciate these kind of efforts, and you can be assured that we're going to wake up every day and try to knock that brick wall down, as Randy Posh would say. So thanks again for having us, and good luck.
That was wonderful news, and at the end there, Dr. Lay mentioned Randy Posh. It is, again, amazing that here in our area, our community, maybe everyone didn't realize that, but if you've heard of the book The Last Lecture or seen Randy Posh on TV, things that he did, they were the surgeons that treated him. And again, a lot of credibility goes out to Greg and Kathy for being able to get them to come here, and also their willingness to come out and share with us information as it relates to this disease and illness, and hopefully we can do some things to make their lives easier. So thank you. Next up, I don't quite know how to handle the introduction here for Congressman Bill Schuster, our friend. A lot of information we should know. Bill has done a wonderful job for our area. He's in his 5th term in the House of Representatives. Bill's on a lot of influential committees, has done a lot of things for us. It's wonderful that he is from the community. He is well connected. His family's been well connected for a long time. He knows Greg and Kathy very well and was more than willing and able to jump into an area that we all need, and in particular the Pancreatic Cancer and UPMC Cancer Institute at Pittsburgh needs, and that is more federal funding going towards the treatment of pancreatic cancer. And Bill is willing to use his position to try and do some things for us to make the proper connections to raise the funds necessary to help with the research, and wanted to come and share some thoughts with us this evening as it relates to that. So, Congressman Bill Schuster.
Well, thank you very much, Booker. That was a serious introduction, and he told me I was supposed to keep it light up here. But I'm going to talk a little bit serious, and then I know Greg well enough that I'm going to turn it into a little bit of comedy. And following two serious people like Dr. Zay and Dr. Moser, we really appreciate you being here this evening and appreciate the great work you're doing. Truly, two nationally renowned oncologists, and again, it's great to have you here and great that you're on Greg's team. I got to tell you, I'm nervous about being here tonight because I look out. This is doctors. This is a home team for me, a home crowd for me. A lot of people here know me well, so when I get up and speak, I got to make sure it's good because they can call me out on it. And I'm talking about a subject that I haven't addressed a crowd this large that deals with a national issue that's important to the nation, to the world. It's important to the community, and it touches me so personally. So again, this is something new for me to be understanding. So I was nervous today when I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to say. Then about 4:45, I really got nervous because I wasn't sure what to wear. And so, like all of you that know Kathy, what did I do? I called Kathy up and said, "Hey, Kathy, what am I supposed to wear?" So thank you, Kathy, for dressing me this evening. It really is great to see this kind of turnout here tonight for such a serious disease and for somebody so beloved in the community that we're all here supporting. And the goals of awareness, support for the Griffiths, and raising money for this research is a serious endeavor and something that I look out here and see 470, Kathy, 480 people. It's fantastic. It's really fantastic. And I got to tell you also, Kathy, I've never had a fundraiser this big for me. So, yes. Not for you, Greg, for Kathy. Because I got to tell you, Booker and Brent, and I know there were dozens of people that participated in this, and my hat's off to you. This is, again, really a fabulous turnout and just a great showing of support for the Griffiths. And probably like most people in this room, many of you, maybe all of you, I didn't know much about pancreatic cancer. Before, some of the stories, some of the national things you've read, but didn't really know anything about it until Greg was diagnosed. And then I started to learn about it and started to realize that the funding that's out there isn't sufficient for the toll and the magnitude, the toll it takes, pancreatic cancer. We're not spending the kind of money that we need to on it. We're not giving these doctors the opportunity to do the research, to find the answers, to find the cure, to keep people living lives. And that's one of the reasons, after I studied it for a while and got the honor to meet Dr. Moser and talk to him about it, that I signed on to H.R. 745, which is the Research and Education Act, which is going to redirect some of that funding, trying to better coordinate it, trying to help the different agencies in the government. And all of us know that government sometimes, most times, is not that efficient. So we hope that with 230 some co-sponsors on the bill now, that we'll be able to move it forward. And as I said, increase funding, better manage the funding across the different disciplines, so that we can be more efficient. These doctors, again, can have the opportunity to find the cure. But raising money, finding that money, raising the awareness is absolutely essential to being able to, whether it's government, the money coming from the government, or the private sector, like tonight in these private events. That is so important to raising the money, the awareness. People know about it. And tonight, the evidence is clear that the people in this community are become aware, but the generous spirit of this community. But I got to say, across America, Americans are generous. I believe that the Americans, what makes us great in this country is our compassion. It's our generosity. Even today, in these tough economic times, there's over $250 billion that's donated by Americans to charitable organizations, whether it's cancer research, whether it's your church, whether it's your local Boys and Girls Club. Americans are generous. So we've got to continue to push for this awareness, continue to make sure people know about pancreatic cancer and the monies that are needed to find the cure.